And so I was going to show some yoga poses that help target that specific area. I always like to kind of start in child's pose. And I like to do the wide-legged. You can start with narrow-legged or widen and out to kind of target that these inner thighs right here.
Why is the wet stuff on my shirt?
And just breathe through. You can stay here for probably about 10 seconds. And I always like to reach as far out as I can. Sorry about that. And I kind of suck in my lower abdomen to go down just a little bit deeper. And then I always kind of just start with my, holy cow, this mat is hot. Cat-cow pose. Speaking of holy cow. And I'll just kind of drop those hips back a little bit, look up, and then breathe out.
Yeah, I like that one.
I breathe in, and then I breathe out. And then I'll go ahead, there's a jumping spider. Go ahead and go into downward dog.
I like that one too.
You can either have your feet flat on the mat, or you can do a slight bend in your knees and lift your heels just a little bit to get a deeper stretch.
Whoa, I ain't tried that one. Hold on a second, Kylie.
It's really cool.
Yeah, this is really cool. You're missing it.
You'll be able to reach your hips just a little bit further back and target
I see.
more of this back area.
Oh, I like that one.
I know when I first started yoga, I used to think, you know, if you have your feet flat on the mat, you're doing better than ever. But then as I started and went through my yoga journey, there's many different ways to target certain areas that you want. And you can also pivot to the left. Get a nice side stretch in your back. Breathe in, breathe out. You get a nice side stretch in that left side as well.
And those are all controlled.
Very controlled and slow. I always be mindful of my breathing.
Your calves are looking fantastic.
Thank you. Now I'm not going to go
Very
through
good.
all the poses. I'm just kind of targeting certain areas that feel best in that, I guess, lower area. I'm going to go ahead and go into pigeon pose.
How long is this?
Not very long, honey. Now, goal is, oh God. Hey, Kylie, you want to hand me my yoga block or Grandma's yoga block?
Yeah, because I got camera duty. Wave to the camera when you come on, because Better Daily going to see it.
Thanks, honey.
Oh, apparently
So-
she's not waving.
No, apparently not.
I don't know who he is.
You want to have kind of a nice parallel leg here with your knee and your ankle. And you're dropping this right leg behind you.
Now, is there a variation of that?
I'm about to get there.
Okay.
What you want is this other hip right here on the ground as well, as like both hips are going to try to drop to the ground at the same time.
Yeah, that
Um,
looks like it feel good.
And it is an amazing stretch right here in that area that L-Dog was talking about. I like to go ahead and reach forward. You can go to your forearms. Or go ahead and reach forward and drop all the way down. Now the thing with pigeon pose is it takes a minute to get into, and not everyone can go at that far with your hip drop down. So my favorite part is to put a block underneath your hip to make it to where you can reach down a little bit and get a deeper stretch.
But yeah,
into
that changed the
area.
stretch altogether even.
It feels really good.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you're done, you slowly get up, get that block out from underneath you. Slowly make your way back into whatever pose. Ooh, sweat bee. Depending on whatever yoga video you find, you'll be going all sorts of poses to Warrior One. Usually you'll go into some kind of vinyasa where you go down, upward facing dog.
Now, yoga flow is a different thing. That's constant movement, right? Where you go from one pose to another.
Yes, but if you're just targeting certain areas,
You don't have to do all that,
you
right?
can just target the areas that you want and be done. You can take about 10-15 minutes and stretch depending on if it's a rest day or you're going to be doing before or after a workout. I always like to stretch more after a workout.
Now, a lot of these you can do in bed because I like the bed for me because it has a little give to it and it makes it a little more forgiving when I get into a pose, you know, and the bed
Yeah.
gives a little bit, I get a better stretch for me that way. Somebody
Yeah.
else might not, though.
I don't know, there's all sorts of different ways to stretch and stuff. And another thing to keep in mind is one side's not going to be as flexible as the other sometimes.
Now, is this still the pigeon pose?
Yeah, it's still the pigeon pose. I'm just doing my other side just because I don't want an uneven stretch. So I'm going back into pigeon pose and laying here for a second. But yeah, back to the one thing's not going to be the same as the other side. It's huge with your workouts, with yoga, and just stretching in general, because sometimes it can be kind of disappointing. You're like, why is one side not as stretchy or flexible as the other? And maybe one side you can do it without the block, or maybe you need the block again to get that stretch. And it just depends on your body. I mean, everybody's different. I know sometimes, it's usually different every day for me. I mean, one day I can go ahead and get a deeper stretch than the next day. It just all depends, really.
I'm so flexible, I have a hard time getting a good stretch in my muscles because, you know, I can be way down in that pose and still not feel nothing other than pain.
This is true. I do.
But I love that pose right there. That's my favorite.
Child's pose feels really good, and then you can kind of take the child's pose and go down.
Yeah, I even do that. I take the child's pose and I go forward and I'll hang my upper part of my body off the side of my bed and get a nice decompression in my spine.
Yeah, it's really good to kind of also go back and forth as well. But the pigeon's pose is probably going to be the best for that hip area. Same with downward dog, just getting the whole lower body stretch all throughout.
Now, do you have any caveats for somebody who maybe might not be used to stretching, or because you don't want to force nothing, you know, you just want it to feel good, so you lean into the stretch, but you don't want to force it, right?
Yeah, you never want to force it. Just, that's kind of why I had stated, like, one side of your body might be a little more flexible than the other. You don't want to force into it. You want to breathe and go as much as your body is going to let you.
It's surprising how much just that breathing relaxes that muscle enough to where it just automatically does what it's supposed to do anyway.
It is. That's why I used to not, especially with yoga, and just, yoga in general, it's kind of like stretching, but with yoga, I used to not worry about breathing, and then I realized how important breathing contributed to all those different poses and stretching.
They really do.
So as you breathe and as you let go, you allow your body to go deeper into whatever stretch. But again, as Kat stated, you don't want to force yourself to go further than what your body wants you to do. Listen to your body because it's super important. We all have our limitations and every day is different. Sometimes our muscles are tighter. I do have one other stretch. I don't know how that camera's going to go with it. I like to kind of start here. You're going to get this lower back area.
Yeah, that's my favorite too.
And then another thing is I loop my hands around my back and go deeper into it.
Yeah.
You can take a wider stance, a shorter stance, and allow yourself to fold over and slowly rise back up.
Now, do you ever put your hands down to go between your legs like you're sweeping the floor?
Like this?
Yeah, but go backwards with them like you're sweeping, and you just want to hang.
Oh my God, this mat is so hot.
Maybe we ought to end it because it is hot.
It is, but yes, just real quick. I'll hang like this,
Yeah, and I just try to let my body weight hang.
Again, though, like your body weight, yeah, hang it, but also you get different stretches from going from your heels to your toes. If you try going to your toes, it gives a deeper stretch in your hamstrings
Oh, I gotta try that.
to where you want. And you just kind of, again, breathe into it and slowly release back
And you
up.
just lift your heels up when you do that?
I don't lift them up. Let me go. I don't want to show everyone my butt, but this is going in sisterhood.
Yeah, it's going in sisterhood.
So, holy cow. So as I shift my weight, I don't, oh my God, I don't lift my,
That mat is super hot.
super hot. I don't know what I want to do right now. So I don't shift my heels up, I'm just leaning forward into my toes
Okay.
instead of back. So if I'm leaning back and then I shift it forward.
I think I do that naturally.
So many different things. I'm gonna go ahead and end it because my feet are burning up.
All right, give us a good thumbs up. Oh, wow. Ooh, yeah.